Hey everybody, it's Christy from Garden Nerd, and today we're talking about planting a permanent alfalfa bed. Now, why would I want to do that? Well, it is food for your compost bin, which is a really cool thing. So you can plant alfalfa as a cover crop, and then cut it down, turn it into your soil. But if you can dedicate a space to a permanent crop of alfalfa, you can let it go for years and years. So today I'm planting organic dormant alfalfa, and one of the reasons why it's important to use organic is because anything that's not organic could potentially be genetically engineered. Now, genetically engineered alfalfa was just approved for commercial agriculture. It's not right now available to home gardeners, but you never know where seed companies are getting their sources. So make sure you get either organic or make sure that you buy seeds from a company that takes the Safe Seed Pledge. And you'll find that in the catalog, either in the beginning of the catalog or around the order form. And these seeds came from Bountiful Gardens, which is up at Ecology Action in Willits, California. It's where John Jevons does his research for Grow Biointensive. So these seeds are pretty small. I'm basically going to pour them into my hand and then sprinkle them into the seed holes that I've made already from there. Now, the instructions say to plant them on 5-inch centers, which means every seed should be equally 5 inches away from every other seed. So I've drilled holes 5 inches apart for the first row, and then I've started the second row halfway in between the first and second holes of the first row, and 5 inches away from that. So the whole bed has been drilled, and we're going to plant the seeds a 1/4 inch deep. What happens next is I will probably backfill this whole area, fill in the soil, and my drip irrigation is already laid here, but I'm going to need to hand water while I'm doing this. So for the first couple of weeks, I'll be hand watering because the drip irrigation doesn't actually reach where all of my holes are. But once they have a root system, they'll be fine with the drip irrigation. Now, the cool thing about this is once you've planted it, the seeds grow, they germinate, and they grow into plants that'll be about 17 inches high. And once they reach about that height, you can cut them down, but you leave the roots in place. And then you have food for your compost bin. Alfalfa is a high nitrogen cover crop, and that means it kicks up the temperature of your compost bin, which is really cool. So you cut it down, you add it to your compost bin, temperature goes up, you get compost faster, and it's higher in nutrients, which is really cool. So once I've planted all of these seeds, I'm going to probably need to cover them because there are birds, and the birds will seek these seeds. They really like to feed on them. So I'm going to use floating row cover. And floating row cover is this gauzy material that easily can be laid over the top of the whole bed. Mine's a little bit rusty, but you can see that it just goes right over the bed like this, and it covers the entire bed. And then I use U-pins like this to hold the corners in place. So I'll be pinning those on the 4 corners, and then with this floating row cover, I can water through the row cover, and the sun gets through it too. And so the seeds will germinate without the birds trying to steal them. How bad is that? Not bad at all. For more information on alfalfa, cover crops, genetically engineered crops, and safe seed pledges, visit gardennerd.com. And if you like this video, like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Happy gardening.